For Pacifica Radio, I'm Teresa Wiersbianska. A mix of law enforcement, street performers, and football fans is filling New Orleans' blocks as the city inches back to normalcy. A deadly New Year's truck attack along Bourbon Street killed 14 people, along with the driver. Shamsuddin Jabbar was fatally shot in a firefight with police after steering his speeding truck around a barricade and plowing into a crowd of revelers. About 30 people were injured. The FBI says Jabbar was inspired by the Islamic State militant group. Authorities finished processing the scene Thursday morning, and Bourbon Street reopened for business by early afternoon. Authorities say the highly decorated soldier inside a Tesla Cybertruck packed with fireworks that exploded outside Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas shot himself in the head just before detonation. The explosion caused minor injuries to 7 people, but virtually no damage to the hotel. Clark County Sheriff Kevin McMahill said 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger likely planned a more damaging attack, but the steel-sided vehicle absorbed much of the force from the crudely built explosive. Livelsberger was an active-duty member of the elite Green Berets. The Pentagon said he had served in the Army since 2006, rising through the ranks, and was on approved leave when he died. FBI Special Agent Spencer Evans says they are still searching for a motive.
We know we have a bombing, absolutely, and it's a bombing that certainly has factors that raise concern. It's not lost on us that it's in front of, of the Trump building, that it's a Tesla vehicle, but we don't have information at this point that definitively tells us or suggests it was because of this particular ideology or any of the reasoning behind it.
The FBI says it still hasn't found any association between the Cybertruck explosion and the attack in New Orleans earlier on New Year's Day. Hospital staff say at least 30 people, including children, were killed in Gaza by Israeli strikes overnight and Friday morning as air sirens sounded across Israel and stalled ceasefire talks were set to resume. Charles De Ledesma reports.
Staff at the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital say more than a dozen women and children were killed in strikes that hit various places in central Gaza, including Nusret, Zaweda, Maghazi and Deir el-Balah. At Deir el-Balah, people carry wrapped dead bodies, placing them outside the hospital's emergency department, while others pray for the victims. There's been no immediate comment from the Israeli military on the strikes. Israelis also woke up to attacks early Friday morning, officials saying missiles were fired into the country from Yemen, which set off air raid sirens in Jerusalem and central Israel and sent people scrambling to shelters. I'm Charles De Ledesma.
Today marks the start of the 119th Congress, with Republican majorities in both the U.S. House of Representatives and the Senate. As President-elect Donald Trump is set to return to the White House later this month, the American government will see a Republican-controlled trifecta. The United States has not experienced unified Republican control of the executive and legislative branches since 2017, during Trump's previous term in office. As the new Congress convenes, there is one major task at hand, and that is the election of the House Speaker. Current House Speaker Mike Johnson's weak grip on the gavel threatens not only his own survival, but President-elect Donald Trump's ambitious agenda, tax cuts, and mass deportations are all at stake as Republicans sweep to power in Washington. With opposition from his own GOP colleagues, Johnson was holed up in the Capitol on the eve of the vote, working to sway the hardline holdouts. A flop by Johnson could throw Monday's congressional certification of Trump's 2024 election victory into turmoil without a House Speaker. Even backing from Trump himself is no guarantee that Johnson will stay in power. South Korean investigators have left the president's official residence after nearly a 6-hour standoff, during which he defied their attempt to detain. It's the latest confrontation in a political crisis that has paralyzed South Korean politics and seen 2 heads of state impeached in under a month. President Yoon Suk-yeol, a former prosecutor, has resisted investigators' attempts to question him for weeks. The last time he is known to have left the residence was on December 12th, when he went to the nearby presidential office to make a televised statement to the nation, making a defiant statement that he will fight efforts to oust him. And a year after a panel blew out of a Boeing 737 MAX during flight, the nation's top aviation regulator says the company needs to change its culture and put safety above profits. Federal Aviation Administration Chief Mike Whitaker made the comment in an online post Friday. Whitaker will step down as FAA administrator in 2 weeks. I'm Teresa Wierzbianska for Pacifica Radio.